Notts County talk, it's finished. Notts County 2, Bromley 2. Initially, you know, I do feel quite gutted. I feel like we could have got the 3 points from that game. You know, going into that game, you could argue a point is a good point against Bromley. You know, they're a good side. They've had some good results this season. But we knew we were capable of winning that game. There's no two ways about that, in my opinion. There's a couple of chances where you're thinking if they're a couple of inches either way, O'Brien's 25-yard effort and Rodriguez's free kick both hit the woodwork. Gutting, because if one of those goes in, you know, we'd have shut the game out. It was 3-1 and I couldn't see Bromley bringing it back even. You know, they've done really well, Bromley. You've got to give them a little bit of credit. I think we played really well. You know, our game plan was pretty much spot on. A couple of errors at the back, but when you're looking at Bromley's defence, I thought they were solid. You know, in the air, they were pretty much on everything. Their goals, though, their first goal, do I feel like anything more could have been done? Not really. The ball's been put in the air, and unfortunately, it's either Bromley or Kelly Evans' man that's, you know, jumped up for the header. He's got the height on them, so there's not really too much that between them they can do about it. It's obviously come across. Ellis has tried to loft it over the ball with his head, and he's unfortunately headed it into his own net. But, you know, Holly said it at half-time in the watch-along. You know, if he's not there and he doesn't put his body on the line to do it, it'd have been criticised. So for me, he's done the right thing, and unfortunately, it's not gone the right way for him. But the second goal, unmarked man, I think it's the third cross of the game. We've got to be expecting better. I think we have to be. Is it Chickson's man? Is it Ellis's man? It doesn't matter whose man it was. You know, we're not going to pinpoint whose man it was. But I just feel like we have to do a little bit better. It really lets us side down a little bit, I feel, because I think as a whole, that performance was right up there again. Right up there. You know, I don't feel disheartened in the fact that we didn't play well, because there's been times this season where we've come away from games and we've not got the result and we've not played well. And there's even been times where we've got the result and we've not played well. So it is frustrating to not come away with the result. But I'm not downhearted, you know, in the grand scheme of things in the running now. We're still unbeaten in 4. You know, it's a good run that we're on at the moment. We've got Wrexham on Tuesday. I think the players will be high in confidence. And, you know, there's some individual players today that have been fantastic again. And it's the same sort of players. You know, one player I really want to give plaudits to is Chickson. And I know you've got your Millers, you've got your Rodriguez, Wotton even, that has been fantastic today. But I just think Chickson is something else at the moment. He's linking up so well. Defensively, he's sound. So, yeah, I don't think you can really criticise Chickson too much. Miller, you know, I'd love to see how far he'd ran today because he didn't stop running. Wotton, I mean, the pinnacle of Wotton for me today was the chance with Reeve, where Reeves sort of 1-2'd it and then Wotton's back-heeled it. He's shielding the ball in their 18-yard box, and they couldn't get it off him. They could not get it off him. And that is such a, you know, he's so important for Notts. He's so important. That level of play, you know, he's allowing Notts to play like that. And it opens up the game so much, and we nearly scored from it. You're thinking maybe Reeves should do a little bit better. So yeah, on the grand scheme of things today, I think we've done really well. We've played really well. It was an enjoyable game to watch, and especially to do the watch along for. Plenty to talk about. You know, some great individual performances. Eli Sam making an appearance late on in that game, and I thought he played really well. Maybe one time he did give the ball away and he was a little bit sloppy, but you know, he was going the right way. You know, he was taking men on. He just had that energy, didn't he? I felt like we might have been lacking later on because of the intensity that we did show for the majority of that game. I'd love to know how everyone else feels after that 2-2 draw with Bromley. I think initially it's easy to feel let down and a little bit disheartened, but you've got to look at the bigger picture now. You know, we're in playoffs. We need to keep this sort of form going, and we need to look to win. I feel like now our last 3 games to give us that momentum and confidence going into the playoffs, hopefully. But yeah, like I say, let me know how you feel in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video.